Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, the President of the International Confederation of Principals, whose name I'll not attempt to pronounce, the Executive of the International Confederation of Principals, the President of the African Confederation of Principals, the National Chairman of the Kenya Secondary Schools Heads Association, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, since I am among serious academicians, educators, and custodians of the future, allow me to ask a question, and if somebody has an answer, we will give him a reward at the end of this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, how many decisions do you think a human mind makes in a day? Anybody to attempt? Anybody who has an idea? Yes? Infinite? That's one answer. Another person, and don't Google, please. Anybody to attempt? Yes? 0 decisions. Between 500 and 700. Yes, there, the last one. 35,000, you got it right. The human mind in a day makes a whooping 35,000 decisions. When I learned that fact, it shocked me, because I was wondering, when does the brain stop? So learning is continuous, and you as educators, you are the custodians of that provision, of that program that is always ongoing, and every day we make those decisions. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to Kenya. And as I told your president this morning, I think it was in the afternoon when we met, those who are coming to Africa for the first time, rarely do they go back. And I asked him that if this is his first time, and after he goes to Masai Mara and sees what we have there, he will only call his country for his bags to be brought. But Your Excellency, it is with great pride and honor that I join you today for the prestigious International Confederation of the Principals Convention. Your Excellency, I wish at the outset to thank you for finding time out of your very, very busy schedule to grace this opening of this conference, or the opening of this conference. Your presence here today is a strong testimony to your unwavering commitment to the future of education in our great nation and indeed beyond. Your Excellency, this gathering of secondary school leaders and managers drawn from across the globe is an important meeting of leaders where they share their experiences and collaborate. It is an ample opportunity for us, Your Excellency, to share our diverse experiences and insights. We also have the opportunity to reflect on the challenges that we have faced in our unique circumstances and the opportunities that lie ahead. The diversity of this gathering is perhaps its greatest advantage and asset. This is because it presents us with a chance to share varied experiences and to deliberate on the best practices in school management and leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, as a country, we are happy to share with you the progress we've made and the challenges that we've faced over the years. As demonstrated in the recently concluded 2024 Paris Olympics, Kenya is a home of champions in sports. However, we also pride ourselves as a beacon of excellence in the region in the provision of quality and relevant education. We realize that this is an aspiration that we must continually pursue, as education is dynamic and an ever-evolving process. In view of this, allow me to highlight some of the concrete steps we've made so far in expanding access to equality in education in our basic education institutions. One of our top priorities over the years has been to bridge the gap between urban and rural communities when it comes to educational opportunities. We have made significant investments to build new schools and educational facilities in all corners of our country. From constructing and renovating classrooms and ensuring that our schools have access to the same learning resources such as textbooks, we are leaving no one behind and leaving no stone unturned in our commitment for equity in education in our country. But building schools is just the beginning. We have also pioneered the use of mobile schools to serve children in our pastoral communities. By leveraging on the power of technology, such as solar-powered devices, we are bringing interactive learning experiences to the most remote regions of this country. This dynamic approach ensures that no child is left behind, no matter how far they may be from their nearest brick-and-mortar school. We are continuously placing emphasis on the promotion of inclusive and equitable education for all children, regardless of their background or circumstances, to nurture their full potential as envisioned in our current education system. Ladies and gentlemen, so far, I can confidently declare that we've managed to overcome geographical barriers and brought the gift of learning to all, including the most far hard-to-reach children in the far corners of our country. We are now implementing the comprehensive curriculum reforms that have ever been seen in this country. The purpose of this is to ensure that our education system holistically equips our students with skills, knowledge, and values necessary to thrive and succeed in the 21st century. In secondary education, the government's 100% transition policy has been a game changer. This year, for example, 97% of learners transited from primary to secondary school. Building on lessons learned from this transition policy, we aim to extend our efforts to enhance the transition from junior to senior schools within the context of Kenya's competency-based curriculum. Ladies and gentlemen, one key lesson that we've learned as we roll out the reform process and as we implement transformative policies in the education sector is that stakeholder participation is critical. Education is a sector that affects almost all the households in the country. Taking into account as many perspectives from as many different sectors is therefore extremely critical. Given the direct impact of the sector on households, policies have to be sensitive to stakeholder needs and interests. The other important lesson, Your Excellency, that we've learned is that key decisions in the sector have to be based on accurate and valid evidence. Evidence-based decisions result in optimal utilization of the scarce resources that we have and lead to a more efficiency and effectiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest challenge, however, is that of funding. Growing access and equality means more demands on the exchequer. We need to build more classrooms, provide increased capitation, recruit and retool additional teachers, and procure learning resources. As a government, we have incrementally enhanced funding to the education sector. At present, our education budget is at 27% of our annual public spending, far exceeding the UNESCO recommended of 15 to 20%. This increased spending is a positive demonstration of the government's commitment to education. However, it raises the question of whether the resources are being employed optimally and whether such growing funding is sustainable. Many of the possible answers to these questions lie with you, the leaders in the education sector, as the individuals who are charged with the management of these resources in the institutions that you lead. Part of the solution we have devised in our context is to strengthen the capacity of school managers and their support staff. We are also working on a legal framework that enhances coordination and harmonization in the provision of resources to eliminate wastage through duplication. We realize that ultimately the solution lies in strong data and information management systems. This is why we've embarked on digitization and creating an information management system that will be a single source of truth on the entire education sector. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, our teachers' unions have issued a strike notice, partly on the basis of their legitimate demands that have been made and pledges that have been made. These demands are legitimate, but also the government challenges are legitimate. As I've already indicated, we believe in stakeholder involvement and consultation. Such consultation should be authentic and should take into account all the factors and available evidence and data. And also, it is to be mutual. All stakeholders must therefore be ready to understand and to work together so that we can reach a solution that is for the best benefit or that benefits the child. All the decisions that we make in the sector must be for the interest of the learner. I am confident that despite our present challenges, the government and unions will come together and reach an amicable solution that prioritizes the best interests of the learners. I therefore urge all our unions to give priority to dialogue in order to ensure smooth teaching and learning. And I'm happy to report that there is going to be a meeting tomorrow between the government and the unions to discuss this matter. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, your unions are a critical cog in the operation of our education system. In 2019, when we had COVID, we signed as a government with the unions a non-monetary CBA agreement. So I'm confident that even this time, we are going to have a authentic discussion and we'll get a solution. From tomorrow, when we do the discussions, we'll be able to inform you what we've agreed. On the issue, I know that is challenging to the public as we speak, of the new funding model. The funding model has been in existence for 29 years. The only thing that has changed is that the means testing instrument was adjusted and reviewed to ensure that those children who need the government support most benefit most from the government funds, so that children of those who can afford, such as myself, can bear my rightful share of the school burden. And we've created a portal where we've allowed the students to appeal, so that if you have data, information to show that you've been put in the wrong band, we are working every single minute to reband you. Because the policy is no child should miss school because of money. We begin with that. So going forward, I can assure the country that within the next few weeks, next few days, we are going to resolve that matter, and each and every child who deserves to be in school will be, because we are doing 100% transition. Thank you. In conclusion, it is now my great honor to invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, to deliver his remarks. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya, and enjoy your stay.